decide to do it when you have good enough players to do it, and we do. And we have guys with similar abilities and talent levels, and being able to stay fresh and to play hard through a long season is really important. And last year, both those guys took 1,000 snaps, and that's a lot of snaps of football. So I'm very excited about the way we've been able to manage their time so far this year.
How's Gary on?
Fantastic.
He's going to play.
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely 100%.
How many plays are they on pace for right now?
I would say, 3 games. It's hard to say, but they're right now around 40 a game. So I would assume we're going to be somewhere between 500 and 600 apiece. I hope, maybe more. We haven't played that many snaps of defense, so we have games where we play more. They'll play more, but right now they're, as it is right now, it's a third.
Is that following what you had hoped for?
Actually, would hope for Damon Arnett to play a little bit more. Of course, he's playing snaps at nickel, but he's played corner, and he's going to play more. He's a very capable player. And again, the way I think we rotate defensive linemen and nobody ever asks about it. I know it's unusual at our position, but it's only because we've been able to recruit and develop some really, really talented kids.
Is Marshawn just treated like anybody else right now in terms of handling his practice reps and game reps? Or is there still a part of you guys that has to hold him back or have any concern about his health?
No, we manage the reps. Right now we're managing the reps for all of those guys in exactly the same manner. And again, I think that helps keep them fresh as well. We've got enough guys between those 4 and the 2 freshmen and Josh Norwood that we can roll guys through there in practice and stay fresh and healthy, because the health of the corners is going to be critical to the way we play our defense.
But he's not different then?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Nope. Good question.
Urban said just a couple minutes ago that when he was watching practice today, watching the Rutgers scout team, you guys run the Rutgers scout team, that he's like, this is just like watching Ohio State. This is like watching us. How much of a challenge is it to go up against your offense and somebody that knows your defense and your offense, and to know that you're basically going up against your team?
Well, I think it's a challenge, but I also think there's a comfort level with having an understanding and seeing a lot of those things through spring ball and through this week and last week. And I think our kids have a pretty good understanding of they're different offenses, but they have a pretty decent understanding. And I think defensively they're very similar to us. I haven't studied their defense, but I know Coach Ash very well, and I'm sure it's a very, very similar model to what we're playing right now.
Is there an art?
When was the last time you spoke to Coach Ash, Kerry?
We text weekly.
This week?
Absolutely. Well, you know what? I think the last one was maybe Friday before they played Iowa. But we're friends. We're good friends. We spent 16 hours a day for 2 years together in a small little room, and so we've become close. And I really like Chris, and so we are going to continue to have that relationship, I would hope, for a long, long time.
Are you guys like brothers in the fact that you can trash talk a little and
No,
you know what I mean?
I'm not a great trash talker, and I don't know that.
How can you coach defensive
I
backs?
don't, well, my players are great trash talkers. They abuse me that way, but that's not my strength. And we just talk professionally. I admired the way that Chris worked and drew from other resources. I learned a lot of football from him, and I enjoyed working with him. And we have a personal relationship with our families and those kind of things that are common things to talk about.
Is there an art to scoring defensive touchdowns, especially in the secondary?
No, what's
does
really
it depend on the situation?
You just have some really, really good athletes out there right now that can take the ball and run with it. I mean, Marshawn was an outstanding receiver and returner in high school, and Malik Hooker was a dominant basketball player, maybe the best basketball player in the state of Pennsylvania. Jerome Baker, I think you guys saw the catch he made in the spring game and the other things. So I think it's just gifted athletes who end up with the ball in their hand and they know where the end zone is. They go really fast and get there.
From talking to the defensive backs, they say the biggest change from last year to this year is they're being taught to really find the ball. Can you expound on that?
Well, I think that Coach Schiano, one of the things that he said, I think every time we get new guys, which is one of the great things about Ohio State, one of the hard things about Ohio State is we lose coaches. One of the great things about Ohio State is we replace them with great coaches. So Greg brings his perspective, and one of the things he said after he studied our team was, we don't get enough turnovers, don't generate enough turnovers, and so we spent a lot of time in some turnover circuits and some other things in spring practice and in fall camp designed to do that, and I think it's paid some dividends. I also think that our kids have had the ball come their way and have been able to catch it. You know, we dropped some last year, and we call those missed opportunities. I think that this year we've caught the ones that we've had a chance to catch, and I think that that's a little bit of a difference too.
Greg was a head coach in college and the NFL. He
Yeah.
comes here as an assistant. How has he meshed with everybody?
He's a great coach. He's a great man. He's a husband. He's a father. I don't think a lot of us are really different. We bring to the table different experiences, different life experiences. You know, Luke Fickle has tremendous life experience, and what he brings from Ohio State is really phenomenal. So is Larry Johnson. You know, and so the four of us in that room, you know, I really enjoy working with those guys, talking with those guys, learning from those guys, sharing with them. So Greg does bring a head coach perspective, and every week he talks about what is on the mind of the opposing head coach, because he's been that guy, and I think that helps us in our preparation.
Hey, Kerry. I think I saw a stat where you guys have only given up 3 receptions to receivers on plays 10 yards or more down the field. What are your guys doing to kind of limit?
Well, last year we played 13 games, and I think we gave up 16 passes of more than 10 yards at the corner position. So it's kind of a standard that we're trying to set. I think that we have to work very, very hard to defend that, because we're in press coverage so often, and we're vulnerable to those throws. And so we spend an inordinate amount of time defending the deep ball and the deep shot. And I think that that's been, people are going to throw them on us, and we got to go play them. And we gave up 3 passes of more than 15 yards against Oklahoma, and that's disappointing. So we'll go really. We've worked really hard the last 10 days or whatever it's been on rectifying that.
Kerry, though, do you guys, you may have been asked this before I walked over here, but do you guys practice interception returns like you practice punt return?
We have one offensive play, and that's called a sideline return.
Yeah.
Everybody knows where the ball is going to go when we get it, and so we do practice it every time we get one. And so the kids know, and it really, the times when we haven't scored on those this year have been times when we didn't follow the protocol. We didn't get where we were supposed to, because the rest of the team knows to go set blocks there. So Luke talks about it all the time. We got one offensive play, and they know it. And so we try to work on that every day.
In other words, y'all could have 7 or 8 touchdowns by now?
No, I don't know about that,
Nah,
but
I'm
we had a
just messing
couple
with
where
you.
if we gone the other way, we might have.
But is it interesting, because you were just talking about how, you know, obviously y'all want to get turnovers.
Sure.
You're a coach, but the added emphasis to it has led to more. I mean, why does it work that way sometimes?
Well, I think in life you get what you emphasize, and I think that we spent a lot of time in 2014 really studying tackling and getting to become better tacklers, and guess what? We were really good tacklers. And I think that, you know, we get to spend a lot of time, and we get to choose how we spend it. And so we continue to work on tackling and do those things. I think we're a very good tackling team. We probably spend maybe less time on scheme and more time on technique and those types of things than other people, and I think that shows up.
Running back to Oklahoma, what was the key to
I
kind
don't
of?
already remember that game.
I know it's been
a long time.
12 days ago,
Yeah.
but that was a high-vaunted passing attack
Yeah,
you
they're
guys
good.
were supposed to go against. And did it begin with the pressure up front, and then everything kind of back from that? Just what was
I would say that always it begins with the pressure up front. Our defensive line is outstanding. They're relentless. They play with such passion and intensity. They're working so hard to get to the quarterback. That quarterback's a very, very good player, and he made a lot of defenses look silly last year. And he can avoid the rush, and when he scrambles, he's dynamic. And our guys kept him in the pocket, and they kept going after him and going after him. And so all coverage starts with the guys up front, and they just did a terrific job. It makes our job very, very easy.
And for your guys, what was the key maybe in that game?
Well, I think we played hard. I think we're playing fresh. I think that helps us. I don't think it was our best game. I think it was a good game. And I think we can get better and improve on some things that we did in that game, and hopefully we will this week.
Would you guys shore up on kickoff coverage over the last 2 weeks?
Well, we've worked really hard on some fundamental techniques. You know, the kicking game for us is not about scheme. It's always about fundamentals. We did a couple of drills that were new this week to try to fix some things, and we'll have some personnel changes. We'll do some of that stuff, but for us, it's fundamentals. And we were not great fundamentally on the one that they got out. Now, we followed that up with some good ones, but that's not good enough, and certainly not the standard here. So I would hope, and we've worked very hard to be better at that phase this week.
Cam's about 8 yards better punting this year than the past couple of years. Is there anything y'all have done differently with him?
No, he feels really good. He's hitting the ball really well. We've changed some of our formation things to allow us to get more gunners down the field, which allows us to extend the punt a little bit farther. Cam can kick the ball to the moon. He kicks it where we want him to kick it, and that's why he's very, very valuable.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I told you that I didn't believe you,
I know, I remember.
and I wrote that I didn't believe you,
You
when you
did.
said you were going to rotate corners, and you went to Oklahoma and rotated corners. Would you like to light me up?
No.
This
Let's
is the
just hope that we.
invitation.
But
You
no,
were
no,
right
no,
and
no,
I was
but-
wrong.
Well, I would be honest. I think that's probably true most of the time. But what I would say is that let's hope we're able to continue to do it. If we stay healthy, we're going to do it all season long, and I think it'll help us stay healthy. We've been here in situations where we run out of corners, and we can't be in that spot. And so hopefully week 4 we'll be able to do that. Week 5, I'd like to expand it, to be honest with you. I'd like Damon Arnett to play some more snaps at corner and continue the growth and development with him. But let's hope that we're able to continue to do it. So I appreciate you being nice about that. But we're just going to keep. I can't do
I thought
that.
I was going to get some good
Nah.
Kerry Combs. Let's
Very
bring
nice.
it.
I'm such a nice guy.
You are a nice guy, but we see what you got on the other end.
That ain't easy. Be nice. I'm going to be nice.
Is Gary on good to go?
Good to go. 100%. Great.
Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.